You're successful. You have money, but very little time. Your health is starting to slip, and you know it. You built your career on focus and discipline. But now, the constant Slack messages, the late nights, the travel, the kids have left you drained. You want your energy, your confidence, and your control back. The fitness industry tells you to spend 2 hours a day in the gym, eat plain chicken and broccoli, to track every calorie. Those methods are built for young men with no responsibilities, not for you. I don't believe in strict meal plans or wasting hours in the gym. I believe in simple, repeatable systems that fit easily into your busy life. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to break down the exact systems that will move you from running on fumes to running like a machine. I've used this model with executives at some of the largest companies in the world. It's not easy, but it is simple. This is the $1 Million Body Model. A body that feels, looks, and can make $1 million. This is not for young lads, single, no responsibilities. All they care about is getting a six-pack, is covering themselves in fake tan and doing a photo shoot while they're flexing. These lads have got loads of time to go to the gym every day for hours, to do these excessive diets and follow strict meal plans, but they've got no money. This is for the mature man, the executives, the founder, the entrepreneur, I can never say that word correctly, entrepreneur, who has money but doesn't have much time. This is the person that wants a simple system. And I know this because I've been there. I used to work as a COO for an AI company. It's since sold to a much larger company for millions, which is great for them. And this was 10 years ago that I was there. So I have seen firsthand what happens when you're on Slack all the time and you're spinning plates and putting out fires. But the one thing you're not looking after is your own health. And if you're building, that's great. But if it's building on sand, then everything's going to crumble. So we need to build on concrete, strong body. But we need a simple system to follow, which I'm going to go through now in a second. But why listen to me? Well, as I mentioned, I've been there. And in the last 10 years, I've helped executives at companies like Adobe, Accenture, Primark, Intercom, and Bank of Ireland, loads of places. And thankfully, this has been picked up by the media on TV, radio, newspaper, magazines, because I think it's because they realize that although executives have status, they have the material possessions, what they often gets neglected is their internal. They're suffering in silence because they feel like that's a sacrifice they need to make. But it's not. That's the good news when you've got a simple system to follow, which I'll take you through now. So should we do that? Right. Let me share my tablet with you. No. Tablet. Okay, we're going to start with the center. I'm going to make it yellow because we're referring to the gold. And we're going to use a big dollar sign here. So the $1 million body. What is our desired outcomes? So we have three. The first one is performance. Now this is performance in the boardroom, the bedroom, the play center, if you've got kids. We want tangible outcomes, more than just the physical. We need this because we need to know that what we're doing is getting measured, and what gets measured gets managed. And that ends in a result, which is what we're driven by as high performers. The second thing is, do the arrow here, keep the arrows consistent, confidence. The confidence is a funny one, because confidence without evidence is delusion. If you think, I'm great, I'm a really disciplined person, but you can't control what you put in your mouth, you're not able to exercise, which is something most people, including me, most days doesn't want to do, then the confidence is, it's an effort to try to keep it up. Because what happens is once you're living in what feels like a suit of armor, a strong body, you carry yourself differently. When you carry yourself differently, people will treat you differently. And this could be an investor. This could be a potential employee when you're sitting there across them at an interview. You can say whatever you like, but they're looking and they're judging, like we all do. Well, first impressions last. And this is why a strong body is going to give you tons and tons of confidence. And the last one is control. Not control of other people, control of yourself. In India, I used to be a yoga teacher, and I visited India to teach yoga. I was invited, which is a strange experience. But anyway, they talk about prana as your energy. And in China, I lived in Korea for a couple of years, went to China a couple of times. They talk about chi, which is your life force, your energy. But in the West, we don't say energy unless we're some sort of hippie. Like, oh, you got good energy, man. But we are physical beings. Like now you sit in an office or stand at a desk or in a boardroom, but your forefathers were farmers, or they were, somewhere down the line, they were hunter-gatherers. We all were physical beings. But because we're not expressing that physical need, it comes out as anxiety. And this is where trying to control our nervous system in a stressful situation, like dealing with maybe an issue at work or even a personal issue, where you like parenting, for example, it comes out, right? And it's exhausting. And that really zaps our energy. So what are the three things then, we'll do in red, that are the biggest challenges I see for people like you? The first one is no time. Don't need to explain that. You feel like you made the sacrifice you have to make is, well, I can't be rich and healthy. Something has to give. The second is no, and this is a big one, accountability. Now, I'm going to dive into this because this is important to say. When you're young, like I was, you got mates. You're part of a football team. You got the lads. You go out for beers, and then they move away, or you move away for work, or you meet a bird, and you know how it goes. My wife is Irish. I live in Ireland. Yeah. Anyway, and what happens then is you know less people. You start working more. You know, I can't go out as much. Oh, I'm frozen there. I can't go out. Let me unfreeze myself and exercise. Sorry, I can't go out drinking and get up and perform at work. Fair enough. You have kids. And then you think, okay, now I haven't got time for my mates, and they haven't got time for you because we've been in the same situation. So you have no peers. And in work, the higher you go, as they say, it's lonely at the top. The less people you know. And people that you sit next to, the directors above you, or if you're a director, your peers, the only thing you have in common really is your work. Right? So they don't care about what your heart rate variability is or how much body fat percentage you've lost. I'm sure they don't. So you need a community, right? And you need someone to report to, someone to be accountable to, like a coach. That is critical for high achievers, high performers. And the last one is no system. Because you can go onto Google and in a couple of searches find out what the best workout is to do, what the best foods are to eat. It's all there at your fingertips. But when you're trying to paste things together, stitch everything, or every bit of information you can get together, nothing happens because it's overwhelming. I can't do all this. And this slows you down and eventually you stop. So when you have a system you can follow, it becomes like autopilot. There's no decision fatigue. You just turn up. I know exactly what to eat. It's accessible, easy to prepare. I know what to do in the gym, how much intensity to give, and how to measure that every week. So every single week I can see I'm getting better. And that alone is going to spur you to keep on going. So this is the 3 blocks. No time, no system, and no accountability. So this is what we do. This is what we need to do. And let's put it in green. We call this the break, feed, build system. Right? And break sounds like a negative word, but it's really not. So break, right? Feed and build. I'll expand on these in a second. So break refers to training. Train, let's say. Feed refers to food. Oh, trying to draw sideways. And build refers to recovery. So if we address break first, training should be short and intense. So let's build this out a little bit. If we go here, let's go blue. So training time is, we want less time in the gym and more intensity. Because there, and I'll get into this in following episodes, like it's called our simple strength system in this mini series. But there's an inverse correlation between how much time you can spend in the gym and how much intensity you can apply. And intensity is absolutely key for physical change. Because most fellas our age, let's be honest, they're jogging around. You know, when they go in the gym, they're kind of doing things at a conversational rate because we're worried I might hurt myself or I'm not sure exactly what I need to be doing. Right? And then nothing changes. So that's the 2 things we need to look at when it comes to training. Okay, I'm gonna just highlight these because I think it's important. Low time, high intensity, which is good for us because we're busy. Right. Feed or eating, nutrition. Right. Now with nutrition, we need to prioritize protein. Okay, so prioritize with the S, not a Z. Okay, I'm out of the shot here. Protein. So that should be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And again, this is something we're going to in a later episode. And the second thing when it comes to nutrition, because this covers water as well, is overhaul. Hydration. I use the term overhaul and the term hydration specifically. I'll tell you why. We often think that, okay, I just drink 8 glasses of water. But we need to completely change how we view our system of drinking and what we're drinking. So the system, as I mentioned, I'll get into that in a later episode, should be something that's easy to follow, where you're not having to put stuff into an app. Right? You're not having to track that way, because it's just not going to be sustainable. And also, I don't believe in supplements. The only supplement, the most important supplement in the world is salt. This is why I use the term hydration, not water. Because when we switch from a whole foods diet to, a processed food diet to a whole food diet, our food lacks sodium. And hydration flows where sodium goes. Right, so we just weed it out if we don't put salt in the water. But again, that's coming in a later episode. Cliffhanger there. So let's just put these keep some consistency here in our little diagram. Prioritize protein, overhaul hydration. And then when it comes to recovery, we want to optimize sleep. Because more hours in bed is not the answer. And the second thing in regards to recovery is gamify steps. STEP. So with our steps, you may have heard, I've frozen again. With our steps, you may have heard about, you need to be doing 10,000 steps per day, for example. But the reality is, you just need enough activity where you're using fat as an energy. So the burning the fat off. So for example, the days you work out, 3 days a week, 30 minutes per session, you only need 8,000 steps. But the days you're not working out, you need 12,000 steps to make up for that. And how we gamify that is to track it and to be in a community where we see other lads, other people, peers that maybe we even know from if we're in the same industry. And if they're doing better, we want to do better. Right? That's what makes it exciting, I think. Because but walking can be boring. It's like, I'm just going to walk around the block. I could be doing this, writing this email now, I'm just going to walk. But if we know someone's holding us accountable and we've got their skin in the game with the community, we're more likely to do it. So that's our steps, right? And the other thing is, where's my pen? I got a bit OCD. I need to make sure everything is exactly the same. Okay, fine. Optimize sleep. Now, with our sleep, we might sleep 8 hours a night, but you wake up and you still feel tired. There's an issue. We need to measure the sleep because, again, what gets measured gets managed. And all of this, right, with this is like training, recovery, and nutrition. All of this determines our metabolism. We think, right, when you age, that your metabolism is simply going to slow down. But it's not your age that slows down your metabolism, it's your habits. Right? Now, below this video is going to be instructions for you to find out where you're leaking your energy. Find out what exactly is holding you back. So below this video, follow the instructions. Once you do that, you'll know once and for all, okay, this is my starting point, like a diagnosis, and I know now what I need to do next. For the next video, the next episode, which is arguably the most important, how we start the day, just click in that corner up there. And that's going to take you through our Power Up protocol. How to start the day winning, as Charlie Sheen would say. That's it.